Hey loved ones, I'm Lucy and this is Pussy Powered. In today's video, I'm going to share with you some must-know tips if you're just getting started out using a menstrual cup. Shifting from using pads and tampons to using a menstrual cup was absolutely a game changer for me. And I hear this from so many women who also use menstrual cups. For me, the biggest benefits have been getting to free myself from that feeling of wearing a diaper for several days every month. Plus doing something that's more environmentally friendly as opposed to throwing all these pads and tampons in the trash. And I get to collect my menstrual blood for various purposes, which I go further into in this video. So now, maybe you're here because you heard me talking about one of those menstrual blood rituals or uses, or you want a more stress-free period where you can be active and do the things that you love without having to wear a tampon and have a string hanging out of your vagina, which I so did not enjoy. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1, be patient. I'm sharing this first because it is the most important bit that if you don't have this in place, then none of the other tips are gonna matter because you're not gonna get that far. It can be easy to get frustrated and give up on the cup if things don't go the way that you expect them to go the first few tries. Give yourself time to learn how the cup works in your specific body and in your particular vagina. It may actually take several months, several menstrual cycles to master the use of your cup in your vagina. It took me 4 periods. 4 periods to begin to just get the hang of it. So be patient. Second, practice at home. Don't try it out for the first time when you have places to go, a packed schedule, lots of things to be running around and doing. Save yourself all that stress and just practice when you're at home. And yes, you can safely wear it for extended periods of time. Max 12 hours, I would personally recommend no longer than that. I know that some websites out there and some menstrual cup users talk about leaving it in for a full 24 hours, but I'm like, let's empty out and reset. I like to keep it fresh, but you probably won't want to wear it for an extended period of time on your first try anyway. I know I didn't, and I couldn't because I had too many leaks happening. You may, just like me, need to reinsert it many times, especially just to get it inserted correctly. So why leave it up to chance? Practice at home and be patient. 3, experiment with insertion and removal. This is so important, queens, so important. You've got to find what angles of insertion and what cup folds work for you. For me personally, I like to use a classic C-fold. I use a flex cup and it has this little pulley thing. It makes it easier to break the suction and remove the cup when I'm ready to take it out. A lot of cups, there are so many different kinds of cups out there. Another thing, you've really just gotta try it out and see what works for you. But what I like about this one is that it is easier to remove and it's still like pliable. It's not really rigid. Some cups are really rigid and it gets the job done. And once I figured out how to insert it properly, I legit cannot feel this thing in my pussy when it's inserted. It's like magic. Alright, so back to the C-fold. Because this particular cup does have a little pulley system here, I have to fold around the inside of that. So I fold it a little bit to the side, a little bit to the right here, and then it looks like this. So C-fold. And because I am not a menstrual cup origami expert by any means, I highly recommend watching this video that is referenced right up here to check out 9 menstrual cup fold techniques from the channel Put a Cup in It. And if you're gonna be a menstrual cup user from now on, then I highly recommend checking out their channel, subscribing, and show their videos some love. As for insertion positions, the most common one for beginners is a full squat or a half squat position, which is what I do now, or you can also try with 1 foot up on a chair or on the toilet. Also, you may want to use a little bit of lube when you insert your cup to make it a smoother entrance, or perhaps some coconut oil, and you can also run it under warm water right before you insert it to make it more comfy. Now, whatever fold you use on your menstrual cup, make sure that you keep it pinched together nice and tight until it is about 1/3 of the way in, and then you're gonna let it open inside of your vagina. So the rim of the cup will already be fully inside the vagina before it opens. You hear that pop? You'll probably feel that pop inside of you. It doesn't hurt, it's just a little bit unusual at first. And then as it's opening, you're gonna gently twist it and push it again gently further up until it is up against your cervix. And that way it's gonna collect that blood right there, a nice snug seal. If you don't feel that pop of it opening, then it's not properly sealed. And to double check that it is in fact sealed, you can run your finger across the edges of the lip of your cup inside of your vagina. You're gonna be all up in your business, so get used to that. And when you are brand new to inserting your menstrual cup, try inserting it deeper than you think it needs to go, because it probably needs to go deeper. It's probably not all the way there. And then once it's up there, you can give it a gentle, very gentle tug to ensure that it's sealed, so you can feel the suction in there. Now, a word of caution with particularly the Flex Cup: do not tug too much or it will break the seal for you, and then you're gonna have a mess on your hands if you are not trying to remove it at that time and you leave it in and it's not properly sealed. You see that? That's not properly sealed, so there's blood that's gonna be like coming out of this little pocket right here. So when I say gentle tug, I mean like super fucking gentle tug. And if your cup moves too easily when you gently tug it and it is not properly sealed, remove it and try again. And also over time, as you keep practicing and getting the hang of it, you'll know what it feels like when it's all the way up against your cervix and properly sealed. If when you have your cup inserted and you feel like you need to pee and you try to go pee and you can't pee, or like you can't fully empty your bladder, then the cup is too low, pushing up against your urethra. So stick that bad boy a little bit further up in your vagina, okay, ladies? And if your stem is hanging, like literally sticking out of your vagina, it is definitely not deep enough. Or you have a really short vaginal canal, in which case you may want to trim your stem depending on what kind of cup you have. And as for removal, you've got to break the seal of suction before you attempt to pull out your menstrual cup. Otherwise, it will hurt like a motherfucker if you just try to yank that sucker out. It does not feel good, so don't do it. If you are using a Flex Cup, you gently tug and keep tugging until you feel that seal break, and you can gently pull the whole thing out very carefully, always carefully, because you don't want to spill blood all over the place. And for me, because I like to collect my menstrual blood for various uses during my period, I definitely don't want to waste it. And if you're using a menstrual cup that does not have a little escape pulley like the Flex Cup does, what you can do to break the seal is reach into your vagina and gently squeeze the cup to pull it out, or you can run your finger across the lip of the cup and break suction that way and then gently pull it out. But again, there is a reason that I'm sticking with this cup, because this makes my life so much easier. This whole thing right here. All right, tip number 4. Relax. Relaxing is super important when it comes to inserting and removing your cup. Sometimes you may tighten or tense up and not even know it. So to make sure that your pussy is relaxed, especially upon insertion, tighten up your pelvic floor muscles like you're trying to stop the flow of pee, and then release. This way you'll feel the contrast between the tension and the release. Then you maintain that released state and then you insert it. Also can do this with dildos during de-armoring, during your self-pleasure rituals, and of course during your yoni egg practice. So this concept of contracting in order to fully release helps with so many things. Tip number 5, self-talk. As you're inserting your cup, as well as when you're removing it, talk to yourself. This helped me out a lot, especially my first 2 cycles attempting to master the menstrual cup. I literally would tell myself things like, okay, breathe, relax, you got this. Imagine you're coaching yourself through the process because, well, you are. Tip number 6, handling cleanliness and messiness. Expect there to be some mess, especially as you're figuring it all out. And just to be safe, remove and insert it over the toilet to catch any messes that might slip between your fingers. And be sure to wash your cup with a non-scented, non-chemical, nice little friendly cleanser and warm water before and after each use. Not everyone fully washes their cup every single time that they remove it from their vagina, but I do because, again, I like to keep things fresh. And on the note of messiness and cleanliness, I personally highly recommend removing it when you poop, because that bearing down motion that you do when you poop also pushes things out of your vagina. So it can be uncomfortable at best and messy at worst if it does move your cup around in any way. But if you do choose to poop with your cup still in your vagina, then you may simply readjust it after you're done. Tip number Number 7, listen to your body. Yes, you're going to be hyper aware that there is a cup inside of your vagina the first however many times that you're wearing it, and a lot of it really will be in your head. That's normal. But if there is any pain or discomfort, then it is not inserted correctly. Take it out and try again. Again, patience. And again, when it's inserted properly, you can actually go about your day not even remembering that it's there. So much so that you may need to set a timer for yourself or a reminder to go check your cup because it's so damn comfortable. Now, if after doing something physically active or some rigorous workout, if you feel discomfort or you actually feel your cup, then you may need to simply, after washing your hands really well, adjust the position of your cup or remove it and reinsert it. And if you have long nails and that is making it difficult for you to work with your menstrual cup, then you may want to trim your nails. 8th and finally, prepare for leaks. Especially if you're going out with your cup inserted, be sure that you have backup available. Panty liners, pads, period underwear, that's my recommendation. Because until you get the hang of your cup, there will probably be a lot of leaks. The first several cycles that I used my menstrual cup, I was super annoyed that I still had to wear pads along with my cup. It's like, what the fuck? I was still walking around feeling like I was wearing diapers. So I caved and got the period panties and wondered, why didn't I do this in the first place? So maybe that one thing alone will save you a lot of frustration and annoyance right off the bat. Get you some period panties. You will not regret it. And you can wear those period panties when you're having a really light day or you're at the end of your period when it's not quite flowing enough to want to wear your menstrual cup. I think that's technically like a bonus tip. Number 9, get period panties. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, wild ones, that is it for today. Those are my top tips for beginner menstrual cup users. I'm so excited that you're exploring this possibility, and I am telling you, it is such a game changer. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos on sexual empowerment for women. And queens and goddesses, be sure to check out my free 4-day video training series, Orgasmic Pussy, at pussypowered.com. Link is in the description below. Stay tuned for more. In the meantime, here's to your unleashing for a pussy-powered life.